I want to quickly give you a shout out.
Oh.
Did a big interview this week.
Oh, thank you.
Spoke to Tony Rudiger.
Yes.
Obviously, the comments that came from that spurred a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
But I want to use it as a segue to discuss sort of the Premier League at the moment. Rudiger was saying that he likes Saliba and he thinks that Saliba's a future Madrid player. Mm-hmm. Got me thinking about centre backs, defensive units, Premier League. 2 of the top 3 teams at the moment have very stellar defences. Liverpool have only conceded 2 goals, I believe it is. So far this season, obviously Arsenal doing what Arsenal are doing. As this super chat was, Shady Shake, you've actually taken the words out of my mouth. Which defence do you guys prefer now, LFC or Arsenal? Let's talk about the whole units. I wanted us to do 2 things: talk about the units, talk about the individuals, but talk about like how each team is actually defending as well.
To quickly expand on that, the Rudiger actually said, so with the clip that went out was when he was talking about Saliba and Gabriel. Yeah. But on the clip that didn't go out, but I'm sure a lot of people watched the full episode. Yeah. On there, he actually says Van Dijk is top 3. Yeah. And he actually says Konate is very underrated. Yeah. So in and amongst his top 5, he had Konate, Van Dijk. I think he had Ruben Diaz. So he had Ruben Diaz, Van Dijk, Konate, Saliba and Gabriel. So he had 2 Arsenal, 2 Liverpool. Yeah. So it is a good conversation. Do you know what I mean? I remember me and Fuad were having this conversation about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, about who would take. Or was it SBS maybe, or was it here as well? Yeah. So we were talking about that as well. And look, I think I gotta give respect because obviously 7 games in right now, they've only conceded 2 with Van Dijk and Konate. As 2 centre halves standalone, they are an extreme level. Like they are colossal. It's hard to think about many people getting past them, and it's clearly showing. If they can stay fit for the whole season, that's the key for Liverpool. You know what I mean? Them 2. And the difference with them, and we have to be honest, the difference with them is they ain't playing with 4 centre-backs and two defensive midfielders in front of them. So you have got to give them that respect that they are defending in a different way to the way the Arsenal ones do. Yeah. However, I'm still going to give the nod to the Arsenal ones because of 3 years of consistency. This is the 3rd, like we're talking as if this is the 1st year. And I know Konate, but Konate is sometimes injured. I rate him as a standalone defender, but I just want to see them 2 as a unit for a whole season. I look at Gabriel and Saliba. This is the 3rd season where they look impenetrable. So I'm going to have to still go with them. But if somebody said Van Dijk, Konate, I wouldn't argue. There's not much neither of them can do, bro.
For me, I think Konate,
I've just said... They're tall, they're athletic, they're not missing anything. It's kind of peak, bro. So,
it's actually mad. But I think with Konate, that's the biggest thing. If he can stay fit this year, because I don't think we've had that one fully injury-free season. No. Said if he can give us one of those, I genuinely think there's a world-class centre-back there. And I think this season so far, the way he started it, him and Van Dijk, for me, have just been like absolute rocks. And that's not to discredit Saliba and Gabriel. I think they're incredible as well. But I think the way they've just started this season, I'm like, is this a sign of kind of what's to come? But as you say, the other 2 have kind of been the past 2 seasons. They've really put that kind of cemented themselves down, if you like. So I think I'm the other way. I'm kind of with more Virgil, Konate. But if someone did say Gabriel and Saliba, I had no cons with it. I genuinely think like the pool of centre-backs in the Premier League has probably never been higher, in my opinion, especially from like top to bottom all the way through. Bro, you can look at bottom half sides. They've got Collins. Bournemouth have Zaberni and Dean Senezi.
Gay and Chalobah.
West Ham have Tadibo. And bro, like the talent pool of centre-backs, I think is very, very good, honestly.
Yeah, and I tweeted earlier today, I said that I like the fact that I'm seeing like the return of Uncle defending. Like if you know, you know. You know the little like they're small like so Van Dijk for against Palace, what he did to Gay. Yeah. Prime Uncle defending. Just sort of like let me just little like that stuff is just it's stuff that's not mentioned enough. But the reason why these 2 teams in particular are interesting is City have had a head up on not a head up, but they've built what they've built for so long. But I watched the Palace and Liverpool game and I saw a defensive duo solid. And even when you manage to get past that, what did you have? Goalkeeper that's ever reliable. You look at Arsenal. The few times you might manage to get past that defence, what do you have? Solid goalkeeper. But
in terms of as well what we're saying as well though, and the reason why I'm still going to go with Arsenal, and I know you're going with Liverpool, but the reason why I'm still going to go with it, Etihad, Villa Park, who was the other team that they
North London?
played? Yeah. Spurs away. Yeah. I mean, these guys have gone. They're like very battle tested at this moment right now. I think Liverpool. Onslaught says it himself. They haven't yet been fully tested.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see, especially in his system, etc. We're gonna see when they start playing teams that are better. Let's keep it 100. So that's why I'm still gonna go with that one. I know people are gonna say, well, look at the way Arsenal played in them games and low block and blah blah blah. But there's no rule book to how you should defend.
Yeah.
Defending is defending. Whether a team does it in a low block or they do it in a high line nowadays, because it's seen that if you're a high line defender, it automatically means you're better. Now, that's not necessarily the case. However, I know it can help your team be more progressive in attack, and everyone wants that. But just because you know how to defending a low block or your team are defending a low block doesn't mean anything. Do you come from? But let's not act like Saliba and Gabriel can't do high lines. They do nearly every game. Just those ones they didn't. So I'm still going to go with them. But Van Dijk is looking like, regardless, left, small team or what, Van Dijk, he's looking better than last year. In my opinion.
Speak on it.
I actually genuinely think he's looking better than last year. Like, he's looking better than last year.
Yeah.
He's looking. I'm not saying he's going back to 18, 19. He's not
Say
going
it, Caz! Say it!
He's not going back to like. He's not. Listen, we all gonna say that level was
That's a unicorn.
lot, yeah.
That's a unicorn.
Yeah.
But he's looking.
He's gone up a level from last year.
He's looking good
though.
again. He's looking fast again, and he's looking mobile. He's looking like elite.
The one thing I say about Van Dijk is, and we have these conversations about centre halves.
Yeah.
The older you get to this phase where it's, you know what you can and can't do, and he perfects what he can do to a T. And because you've got a partner in Konate, you can do the other stuff.
Yeah.
And it works really well. And I feel like that's why the Gabriel and Saliba partnership is so interesting, because it feels like they're doing that at a very young age. Like, Saliba knows there's certain things, bro, you gonna do the scrap.
Yeah.
I'll do this. And the
With
fact
Virgil, though, you have to give him credit for kind of how he's adapted, because I feel like when he came back from the injury the first year, he was still trying to play at that level of he was before.
Exactly.
And his body was almost telling him,
you can't do that. Let's find
we
a
need to
different way.
tweak it a little bit. And I just feel like he's, not that his reading of the game needed improvement, but it's just gone up a level where I'm just like, bro, the way he reads the game now is
Let me give you a comparison.
Van Dijk,
you like this one as well. As his career progressed, his way of defending had to tune.
Yes.
Your boy, Ledley.
100%.
Ledley went through exactly the same thing, where his actual defending and his principles of his defending became so much more about intellect, because he knew that his body couldn't do certain things.
And both of them were very fast, very physical defenders beforehand. Yeah. But it's like now, it's like no. Let me use that brain a little bit more. And he's still got the physicality, as you say. He's getting back to that level as well. It's just
I would say
spooky.
we will have to we do have to wait until the big ones,
the big dogs,
the better attackers as well. Because look, with all due respect, I mean, when I saw like Nketiah, for example, come on. Nketiah's not going to get no change from Van Dijk and Konate. Like, I don't even have to watch the game to know that. Yeah, he almost scored from a Liverpool mistake or whatever it was, but he's not going to get much change. Do you know what I mean? Some of the players that they're kind of coming up against, you're not going to get much change from them with this level of centre-half as Van Dijk and Konate. But let's see when they play, you know, Ollie Watkins and Haaland and, you know, Arsenal, and even you lot are in form. You lot as attackers, you are scoring goals freely still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's see when they play against it. Then you can really say, because no one's doubting their quality, but then you can really say, okay,
when it's war tested,
what's going on there? So that's why I'm still going. That's why I'm nodding on.
What I'll say, also, because it's been mentioned, they're not super chats, so it's mentioned a few bits in comments here. I think when you look at Konate, people probably often think Konate against Gabriel, that's sort of your comparison, and then it'll be like your Saliba against Virgil van Dijk, and it's more so because of like the aura, the composers and whatnot. The one thing that Virgil van Dijk definitely has and possesses in abundance more than all of those is the passing range. And you see it, how much of a weapon it is.
What's that?
That was one thing I think this year has gone
and
another level.
And I feel like...
Because before it was just he had the diagonal where he could just unlock a defence. But now he's doing these eye-the-needle passes where I'm like, when the hell did you watch Pirlo videos over the summer or something? Bro, it is incredible, his passing. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, and I think that's what... In any conversation, I think a lot of the time people often think that people are discrediting Van Dijk, and it's never that. It's just that people have to accept that top-tier level of Van Dijk was a moment in time, and you have to appreciate that for what it is. It's almost a discredit to him to try and compare this version of him to that, because
no one will ever reach that peak, man.
That version is what people are saying is the best defender you've ever seen in the Premier League. This is another iteration. That's what people are saying. I'm not saying, that's what.
No, not for me, but yeah.
But how many videos is Virgil van Dijk the best defender? How many times real?
Cam got to specify, not for me.
No, I'm not saying.
Okay, we get it.